for a moment. Recall the times you sought respect from others, only to meet cold indifference or outright disdain. That feeling of disrespect, though painful, was never about them. It was a reflection of where you stood within yourself, a lesson wrapped in discomfort. When disrespect arrives, it signals the completion of a cycle. It whispers, "You have outgrown this, you see." Life is not designed to give you what you deserve, it gives you what you embody. Disrespect cannot take root in a heart that knows its worth. It thrives only where doubt and fear create fertile soil. Do not curse the disrespect, bless it instead. It came to remind you of your power. It was the mirror showing you the places where your self-concept wavered. Instead of reacting, step back. In that space of silence, you'll find clarity. The closure you seek isn't in their apology or acknowledgement. It's in your decision to release their role in your story. You must understand this closure is not a door they close for you. It is a door you walk through when you've decided you are done waiting for someone to value what you've already deemed priceless. Disrespect forces a choice upon you. Will you remain in spaces that deplete you? Or will you rise to meet the standard of your divine nature? Choose wisely, for your reality adjusts to the frequency you radiate. Forgive yourself, not them, not yet, for staying where respect was absent. That self-forgiveness is your freedom. It declares, "I am no longer available for anything that diminishes my light." Now turn your gaze forward. Understand that disrespect wasn't the enemy. It was the teacher, the redeemer, the guide. Its purpose was to lead you to the realization that you never needed closure from them. You are the beginning and the end of your story. Disrespect was the closure, and your rebirth begins now. Every experience in your life is a reflection of your inner world, a mirror held up to the state of consciousness you carry. When disrespect appears, it may feel like an external attack, a wound inflicted by someone else's hand. But if you pause, breathe, and look within, you'll find that it is not an isolated incident. It is a response, a manifestation of a consciousness you have entertained, perhaps unknowingly. Your life is not shaped by random events or the whims of others. It is a projection of your deepest beliefs and assumptions. You are both the creator and the observer, crafting your reality with every thought, emotion, and conviction. Disrespect, therefore, is not an accident. It is an echo reverberating from the thoughts you have nurtured about yourself, your worth, and your place in the world. Consider for a moment how often you have doubted your value. How many times have you allowed self-criticism to whisper louder than self-love? When you question your worth, you unconsciously invite experiences that confirm those doubts. You attract circumstances and people who mirror back to you the vibration of unworthiness you've carried within. This is not punishment, it is clarity. Life always shows you what you truly believe. When someone disrespects you, it is easy to point the finger outward, to blame their actions or their lack of understanding. Yet the real power lies in turning inward and asking, what within me aligned with this experience? What belief or fear allowed this to appear in my reality? This is not about blaming yourself for others' behavior, but recognizing that your inner state is the seedbed of your experiences. You hold the power to transform those seeds. To understand this is to awaken to your role as the creator of your life. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the architect of them. When disrespect arises, it is not a final judgment, but an invitation, a call to realign with your true self. It asks you to examine the inner conversations you've been holding. Have you been silently agreeing with the notion that you deserve less? Have you tolerated disrespect from yourself, allowing negative self-talk or unkind comparisons to define you? These inner currents create the outer waves. Now, as the observer, you have the power to shift your consciousness. Begin by cultivating self-respect, not as a reaction to others, but as a declaration of your inherent worth. Speak to yourself with kindness. Hold your head high, not in arrogance, but in recognition of the divinity within you. As you do this, the world around you will change. The people and situations that no longer align with this elevated state will naturally fade away. Disrespect will no longer find a foothold in your life because your consciousness will no longer entertain it. You are both the observer and the creator. Every moment is an opportunity to adjust your focus, to elevate your vibration, and to align with the truth of who you are. Disrespect is not your reality, it is a passing shadow cast by an old belief. The moment you step into the light of self-awareness, the shadow dissolves, and the world reflects back the love and respect you now embody. Disrespect is a sharp, uncomfortable reminder, yet it holds a profound truth beneath its sting. It may seem like an external attack on your worth, but the reality is that no act of disrespect has the power to diminish your intrinsic value. What it does instead is illuminate the areas within you that have yet to fully embrace and affirm your own worth. It reveals where you've allowed doubt, insecurity, or fear to take root in your consciousness. This revelation, painful as it may feel, is not a punishment, it is an invitation to grow. Your worth is not determined by the opinions, actions, or recognition of others. It is inherent, unchanging, and divine. The mistake we often make is tying our value to external validation, seeking proof of it in the approval of others or the circumstances of life. When disrespect enters, it shatters that illusion, forcing you to confront the truth your worth has always been and will always be, independent of the world's judgment. When someone disrespects you, it does not define who you are. Instead, it offers a reflection of how much of your worth you have chosen to see and embody. If you find yourself feeling diminished by their actions, it is not because your value has lessened, but because you may not yet fully recognize it. Disrespect shines a light on the gaps in your self-concept, the spaces where you have not yet declared, "I am worthy and I am enough." This realization is where true closure begins. Closure is not about waiting for an apology or vindication from those who have wronged you. It is not about proving yourself to anyone or seeking their validation. Closure is an act of self-recognition, a moment where you decide to see yourself fully and honor your worth, regardless of external circumstances. It is a decision to no longer accept anything less than respect, not just from others, but from yourself. Ask yourself, how often have I tolerated disrespect because I doubted my value? How often have I stayed silent when I should have spoken up, or given too much while receiving too little? These moments are not failures, but opportunities for awakening. They are the spaces where you have the chance to rewrite your narrative, to affirm your worth in a way that no one can take from you. To affirm your value, begin with self-respect. Speak to yourself with kindness. Set boundaries not as a defense mechanism, but as a declaration of what you will and will not accept. Surround yourself with people and situations that honor the truth of who you are. But most importantly, remember that your value is not something you need to earn or prove. It simply is. Disrespect then becomes a teacher. It challenges you to rise higher, to step into the fullness of your worth. It is not a reflection of your inadequacy, but a call to affirm your wholeness. When you embrace this truth, you reclaim your power. You no longer seek closure from others because you realize it was never theirs to give. Closure begins with you in the quiet yet powerful decision to see yourself as you truly are whole, worthy, and enough. Disrespect is a moment of awakening, though it rarely feels that way at first. It strikes like a sharp wind, unsettling and unexpected, leaving you questioning the balance of your world. Yet beneath its sting lies an invitation to detach from illusions you have unknowingly held on to, illusions that no longer serve the person you are becoming. Disrespect, when viewed with clarity, is not an ending to mourn, but a release to welcome. It is the universe's way of saying, you have outgrown this. The illusion often begins subtly. It may be the belief that you must tolerate less than kind behavior to preserve relationships. Or it might be the idea that others hold the key to validating your worth. Over time, these illusions become deeply embedded, shaping how you view yourself and how you navigate the world. They create patterns where you overextend, compromise your needs, or ignore the quiet voice within that says, "You deserve more." When disrespect occurs, it disrupts these illusions. It exposes the imbalance in the dynamic and forces you to confront a truth you might have been avoiding. You no longer align with this treatment or these circumstances. The disrespect isn't random, it's the final whisper of an old pattern, one that your evolving consciousness can no longer sustain. It hurts because it shakes the foundation of what you once believed, but in that shaking lies the opportunity for liberation. This moment of realization often comes with grief. But the grief is not for the loss of what was. It is for the time you spent clinging to an illusion that held you back. It is for the parts of yourself you suppressed to fit into spaces that no longer honor your growth. Allow yourself to feel this grief, not as a defeat, but as a cleansing. Let it move through you, clearing the way for the clarity and strength to step forward. Releasing the illusion is not an act of rejection or bitterness. It is an act of love for yourself and the journey you are on. It is acknowledging that the version of you who once tolerated disrespect did so out of a need to learn, to grow, and to ultimately recognize your own worth. That version of you was not weak, but simply unaware of the power you now hold. The act of detachment is your declaration that you are ready to live in alignment with your highest self. When you detach from the illusion, you stop seeking closure or understanding from those who disrespected you. You realize that their behavior was never about your value, but about their own limitations. You no longer take their actions personally because you understand that they were a mirror, reflecting not your inadequacy, but your readiness to transcend the dynamic entirely. Embrace this release. See it as a shedding of old skin, a necessary part of your evolution. What lies ahead is not emptiness, but a new beginning, one rooted in authenticity and self-respect. Disrespect was the signal that the illusion had served its purpose. It awakened you to the truth of who you are, of being worthy of love, respect, and alignment with the highest good. The release is not something to fear, but to celebrate. It marks the moment you step into the freedom of your true self, detached from the illusions that once held you captive. Silence is a profound force, often underestimated in its capacity to communicate, transform, and heal. When faced with disrespect, the instinct to respond can feel overwhelming, driven by a need to defend, explain, or reclaim dignity. Yet the most powerful response is often no response at all. Silence, when it emanates from a place of inner peace and strength, speaks louder than any words could ever convey. It is not weakness or passivity, it is mastery. When someone disrespects you, their words or actions often come from a place of their own pain, insecurity, or lack of understanding. To engage with them is to enter their vibration, allowing their negativity to pull you into a state of reactivity. This is precisely what gives their actions power. The moment you react, you tether yourself to their energy, validating their behavior by meeting it on its level. But silence, a calm, intentional silence, breaks this cycle. It removes you from the arena entirely, leaving them to grapple with their actions in the empty echo of your non-response. True silence is not merely the absence of speech, it is the presence of understanding. It is the recognition that not every battle requires your participation, and that your worth does not depend on defending it to others. When you remain silent in the face of disrespect, you assert your boundaries in a way that words cannot. You demonstrate that your peace is unshakable, that your self-worth is not dictated by external circumstances. This silence becomes a mirror, reflecting the disrespect back to its source without adding fuel to the fire. Inner peace is the foundation of this kind of silence. It requires you to let go of the need for validation or vindication. Instead of reacting, you turn inward, grounding yourself in the truth of who you are. You remind yourself that your value is inherent, untouchable by anyone else's opinion or actions. From this place of strength, silence becomes an act of empowerment, a declaration that you refuse to be diminished by another's behavior. Silence also creates space for reflection, for clarity, and for healing. In the stillness, you can observe the situation without the haze of emotion clouding your judgment. You can ask yourself, what does this moment reveal about the other person? And what does it reveal about me? Often, disrespect points to areas where you may need to strengthen your boundaries or reassess your relationships. Silence allows you to process these insights with wisdom and intention, rather than reacting impulsively. Silence disrupts the dynamic of disrespect. Those who seek to provoke or belittle often rely on your reaction to justify their behavior or to feel a sense of control. When you withhold that reaction, you deny them the satisfaction they seek. Your silence, coupled with your unwavering peace, sends a clear message their actions cannot touch you. Over time, this response or lack thereof often leads to a shift in their behavior, as they come to realize that their attempts to disrupt your balance are futile. Then is not an absence of power, but its highest expression. It shows that you are anchored in your truth, unshaken by the storms of others' opinions. It demonstrates a profound understanding that your energy is precious, and that not every situation warrants its expenditure. When you embrace silence as a response to disrespect, you reclaim your power, protect your peace, and affirm your self-worth in a way that words never could. Disrespect, though painful, is not without purpose. It is often a divine signal, a nudge from the universe guiding you toward a path more aligned with your true self. While it may initially feel like a wound inflicted upon your dignity, disrespect serves as a mirror reflecting what no longer resonates with your growth. It is not an experience to dwell on or grieve endlessly, but a powerful redirection toward what is meant for you. In this way, closure becomes not an end, but a beginning, a doorway to greater possibilities and alignment with your highest self. When disrespect enters your life, it is rarely random. It often emerges in situations or relationships that have already begun to show signs of imbalance or disharmony. Perhaps you've been ignoring red flags, settling for less than you deserve, or clinging to circumstances out of fear of change. Disrespect comes as the breaking point, the moment when the universe steps in and says, "No more." It shakes the foundation of what you've accepted, forcing you to confront the truth you are meant for something greater. Closure, in this context, is not about receiving apologies or understanding from those who have wronged you. It is about recognizing the gift hidden within the experience. Disrespect forces you to evaluate your boundaries, values, and sense of self-worth. It challenges you to ask important questions. Why did I tolerate this? What lesson is being presented here? How can I use this experience to elevate myself? These reflections are not easy, but they are necessary. They empower you to let go of what no longer serves you and to make space for what does. The redirection that comes from disrespect is a divine act of alignment. It points you toward relationships, opportunities, and environments that honor your worth and support your growth. It encourages you to move away from spaces that diminish you and toward those that uplift you. This process is not always immediate or comfortable. It requires trust in yourself, in the lessons of the experience, and in the unfolding of your journey. But as you embrace the redirection, you begin to see the wisdom in what initially felt like pain. This shift in perspective transforms disrespect into a tool for empowerment. Instead of viewing it as an attack on your character, you begin to see it as a catalyst for change. You understand that it is not the world rejecting you, but the universe guiding you. Every moment of disrespect becomes a stepping stone, leading you closer to your authentic path. Closure, then, is not about holding on to the past, but about releasing it with gratitude. It is about saying thank you for the lesson and stepping boldly into the future. New beginnings await on the other side of closure. When you release the weight of disrespect and embrace the redirection it offers, you open yourself to possibilities you may not have imagined. You find yourself drawn to people and experiences that reflect your true value, and you begin to live in alignment with your highest self. Disrespect, in its transformative power, becomes not an obstacle but a gift, a divine signal pointing you toward the life you are meant to live. Forgiving oneself is among the most profound acts of liberation. When you forgive yourself for lingering in spaces where respect was absent, You release the chains of guilt, regret, and self-blame that bind you to cycles of pain. This forgiveness is not about excusing the behavior of others or denying the hurt it caused. It is about acknowledging your humanity, learning from the experience, and granting yourself the freedom to move forward. Within this act lies the closure that heals old wounds and empowers you to embrace a life aligned with your worth. Lingering where respect was absent often stems from a place of hope or fear. You may have hoped that things would improve, that the person or situation would change, or that your patience and effort would eventually be recognized. Or perhaps you feared the unknown. The thought of walking away from the familiar, even if it was painful, seemed more daunting than staying. These feelings are natural and human. They reflect your capacity to care deeply and your desire for connection, even in imperfect circumstances. Staying too long in such spaces can lead to self-reproach. You might question why you tolerated the disrespect or blame yourself for not leaving sooner. This self-criticism, while common, only deepens the wound. It keeps you trapped in the very cycle you wish to escape, replaying the moments of pain and perpetuating feelings of inadequacy. To break free, you must turn your compassion inward. Forgive yourself for not knowing then what you know now, for holding on to hope, and for being human. Self-forgiveness begins with understanding. Recognize that you made choices based on the awareness and circumstances you had at the time. You stayed because you believed in some way that it was the best course of action then. This belief does not make you weak or foolish. It makes you someone who wanted to see the good, who valued connection, and who hoped for better. There is no shame in these intentions, even if they led to pain. They were part of your journey, a chapter in your growth. In forgiving yourself, you reclaim your power. You no longer define yourself by past decisions or the disrespect you endured. Instead, you see those moments as stepping stones, each teaching you more about your boundaries, your worth, and your capacity for resilience. This shift in perspective allows you to release the emotional weight you've been carrying, the guilt, the regret, the lingering what-ifs. Forgiveness becomes the key that unlocks the door to freedom, enabling you to close the chapter with grace and move forward unburdened. Closure is not about forgetting what happened, it's about transforming your relationship with it. When you forgive yourself, you honor the lessons learned and the strength you gained. You affirm that your worth is not diminished by the disrespect of others or the time spent in places that did not honor you. Instead, your worth is inherent, untouched by external circumstances. In this realization lies profound freedom. As you free yourself from cycles of pain, you create space for new beginnings. You invite into your life people and experiences that reflect the respect and love you now extend to yourself. Self-forgiveness becomes a declaration that you are worthy of better, that you are capable of growth, and that you will no longer settle for anything less than alignment with your highest self. Through this act of forgiveness, you find the closure that sets you free. Disrespect, while painful, is often a profound teacher. It reveals the state of your inner world, invites you to affirm your intrinsic value, and offers redirection toward a life aligned with your highest self. Through silence, self-forgiveness, and the courage to detach from illusions, you transform these moments into gateways of empowerment. Disrespect, instead of being a wound to carry, becomes a lesson to cherish, a catalyst for growth, healing, and freedom. The power to rise above lies within you. By embracing these truths, you free yourself from cycles of pain and step boldly into the life you deserve. Let every experience, even those born of disrespect, refine your strength, deepen your wisdom, and bring you closer to the fulfillment of your authentic self. Thank you for allowing these reflections to resonate with your journey. May you find peace, power, and purpose in every step forward.
There are moments in life when words are not just communication, they are revelations. They reveal the core of the person speaking them. If you've ever heard someone say any of these 6 phrases, take a moment, step back, and reconsider their place in your life. Because these words are not merely statements, they are warnings wrapped in casual conversation. What this really means is, your feelings make me uncomfortable, so I'll diminish them to protect my comfort. Pay attention to this phrase. It's not sensitivity that's the problem, it's their inability to respect your emotional truth. Silence is a powerful response to anyone who invalidates how you feel. These words don't reflect gratitude, they reflect entitlement. They imply that your worth is conditional, tethered to their presence. But remember this, you bring value simply by being you. If someone uses their existence as leverage, it's time to walk away. This is an assault on your self-esteem. It's a seed of doubt planted to keep you from seeing your own light. Let me tell you, your worth is not defined by someone's ability or inability to put up with you. Leave this kind of thinking behind. This phrase is often used to shut down critical thinking or intuition. It's not overthinking if your instincts are screaming for attention. Your mind processes what your heart senses, trust it. If someone can't engage with your concerns, they don't deserve your trust. The non-apology. It's not about them owning their part. It's about shifting the burden of their actions onto you. Accountability is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. Without it, there's no foundation to build on. This phrase is a refusal to evolve. It's a defense mechanism used to justify behaviors that hurt, manipulate, or stagnate. Growth is a choice, and refusing to choose it is a loud declaration that their comfort matters more than the relationship. So what do you do when you hear these words? You don't argue, you don't beg, you don't try to change them. You leave silently, firmly, and with your dignity intact. Walking away isn't weakness, it's strength. It's choosing your peace over their chaos. It's prioritizing your growth over their stagnation. And it's refusing to be fooled by words that are designed to control or diminish you. Silence is often the most powerful statement you can make. It doesn't just speak, it roars. And in that roar is your freedom. When someone says you're too sensitive, it might appear as a casual observation or even an attempt to offer constructive feedback. But beneath those words lies a deeper dismissal. It's not merely a comment about your feelings, it's a rejection of them. What this phrase truly communicates is that your emotions are inconvenient or uncomfortable for the person saying it. Instead of acknowledging your experience, they choose to diminish it, deflecting their responsibility to understand or empathize. Being told you're too sensitive often feels like being labeled as a problem. It can make you question your own emotional responses. Am I overreacting? Should I suppress how I feel to avoid being judged? These questions, while natural, point to the insidious effect of such dismissive language. It plants doubt about your worth and the validity of your emotions. Over time, this can lead to a damaging cycle where you second-guess yourself, minimizing your feelings to keep the peace, even when it comes at the cost of your own emotional well-being. But let's pause here for a moment and consider what sensitivity truly is. Sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a form of awareness, a heightened ability to feel and perceive. Sensitive people often pick up on nuances that others miss. They are attuned to changes in tone, body language, and the undercurrents of a conversation. Their depth of feeling allows them to experience life more vividly, both its joys and its pains. When someone dismisses this sensitivity, they are not merely brushing aside your feelings, they are devaluing a fundamental part of who you are. The phrase "you're too sensitive" shifts the narrative. Instead of addressing the issue at hand, it puts the spotlight on you, making your feelings the problem, rather than the situation or behavior that triggered them. This deflection can be especially damaging in close relationships where trust and mutual respect should be the foundation. Imagine expressing discomfort about something that was said or done, only to be met with this phrase. It doesn't resolve the conflict, it shuts it down. It signals that your emotions are unwelcome, and by extension, so is your voice. This kind of dismissal often reflects more about the person saying it than about you. They might lack the emotional capacity or willingness to engage with your feelings. They might be uncomfortable with vulnerability, either their own or someone else's. By labeling you as too sensitive, they shield themselves from the effort of introspection or accountability. It becomes easier for them to invalidate your emotions than to face their own discomfort. Understanding this doesn't necessarily make the sting of those words any less sharp. The real challenge lies in how you respond, not just to the person, but to yourself. When confronted with such dismissal, resist the urge to shrink or apologize for your emotions. Instead, remind yourself that your feelings are valid. They are an integral part of your humanity. Sensitivity is not something to be fixed, it's something to be embraced and protected. In moments when your sensitivity is called into question, consider the source. Is this person someone who consistently values and respects your emotions, or are they someone who habitually invalidates them? Understanding the context can help you determine whether the comment was a lapse in empathy or a pattern of disregard. In cases where the latter is true, It might be necessary to reevaluate the relationship or establish firmer boundaries to safeguard your emotional health. When honored can be a gift. It allows you to connect deeply with others, to experience compassion, and to navigate the world with an acute sense of awareness. Don't let someone's inability to handle your emotions convince you that they are a burden. You are not too sensitive. You are exactly as you are meant to be, a person capable of feeling deeply in a world that often tries to numb itself. So the next time someone tells you you're too sensitive, pause and reflect on the truth of the situation. Are you reacting strongly because the moment calls for it? Are your feelings an authentic response to being disrespected, ignored, or hurt? If the answer is yes, stand firm in your emotions. You don't need to defend your sensitivity, you need to honor it. And if someone continues to diminish your feelings, it might be time to walk away, not because you're too sensitive, but because they're too unwilling to understand. When someone says, "You're lucky to have me," it can initially sound like a compliment, as if they are affirming their value in your life. But if you pause and examine the statement more closely, it reveals something far more troubling. This phrase often stems not from a place of mutual respect or love, but from arrogance and a desire to exert control. It's a manipulative tactic designed to elevate their importance while subtly diminishing yours. At its core, this statement isn't about gratitude or appreciation, it's about creating an imbalance. It suggests that the relationship is a one-sided favor they are doing for you, rather than a mutual connection built on shared effort and respect. By framing themselves as indispensable, they position you as dependent, fostering a dynamic where you may feel obligated to tolerate their behavior, even if it's hurtful or dismissive. The message is clear: without them, you would somehow be less, and that belief is both false and harmful. The phrase "you're lucky to have me" thrives on undermining self-worth. When repeated over time, it can make you doubt your own value. You may start to believe that they are indeed doing you a favor by staying, that you're not deserving of their attention or affection, or that finding someone else who cares for you in the same way would be impossible. This erosion of confidence is deliberate. It keeps you tethered to the relationship, hesitant to assert your needs or set boundaries for fear of losing them. This type of manipulation often surfaces in subtle ways. It might come after you voice a concern or express dissatisfaction with their behavior. Instead of addressing your feelings, they respond with this phrase, shifting the focus away from their actions and onto your supposed good fortune in having them in your life. It's a deflection away to avoid accountability by making you feel like the one who's being unreasonable. They may frame their presence as a gift, but true gifts don't come with strings attached or conditions meant to control. The irony, of course, is that a healthy relationship is never about luck. It's about mutual effort, shared respect, and an understanding that both individuals bring value to the connection. No one person should hold the power to define the other's worth. When someone claims you're lucky to have them, they're often ignoring the countless ways you contribute to the relationship. They overlook your kindness, your support, your love, all the things that make you an equally vital part of the bond. This phrase is their way of skewing the narrative to serve their ego, not the truth. Responding to such a statement requires clarity and strength. It's important to recognize that your value doesn't hinge on their presence. You were whole and deserving long before they came into your life, and you will remain so regardless of their opinion. If someone genuinely values you, they won't need to remind you of your luck. Their actions and words will reflect appreciation without condescension. Mutual respect doesn't need to be asserted through arrogance. It flourishes through humility and acknowledgement of each other's worth. When confronted with this phrase, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, is this person genuinely contributing to my happiness and growth, or are they using this sentiment to keep me small and dependent? Healthy relationships empower both individuals. They don't rely on tactics that create imbalance or fear. If their words consistently make you feel lesser, it may be a sign that the relationship is built on control rather than love. You are not lucky to be tolerated, manipulated, or diminished. You are deserving of a connection that celebrates you for who you are without conditions or condescension. Anyone who tries to convince you otherwise is not a partner but an anchor, weighing you down to serve their need for dominance. Walking away from such dynamics is not a loss. It's a reclaiming of your worth and freedom. You are not lucky to have someone who doesn't honor your value. They are fortunate if you choose to stay. And never forget, that choice is always yours. When someone says no one else will put up with you, it is more than just a hurtful comment. It is a calculated tactic aimed at eroding your self-worth and keeping you tethered to a relationship that is likely imbalanced or unhealthy. On the surface, it may sound like a blunt observation, but beneath it lies a deeper intention to make you doubt your value, your desirability, and your capacity to build meaningful connections outside of this relationship. It's a manipulation tool disguised as honesty, wielded to foster dependency and control. At its core, this statement thrives on insecurity, not necessarily yours to begin with, but theirs. People who use this phrase often fear losing the control they hold over you. By making you question your ability to be accepted, loved, or valued by others, they aim to create a narrative in which they are your only option. This isolates you emotionally, leading you to feel trapped and powerless, as though their presence in your life is the only thing keeping you from loneliness. The phrase, "no one else will put up with you," is not only an attack on your self-esteem, but also an implicit dismissal of your individuality. It reduces your unique qualities, quirks, and even your struggles to something unbearable or unworthy of understanding. It suggests that your imperfections make you unlovable, that they are doing you a favor by staying, and that you should be grateful for their tolerance. This shifts the dynamic of the relationship, putting you in a position where you feel indebted to them for simply being there. Over time, this can condition you to accept less than you deserve, to settle for mistreatment, or to stay silent when your needs are unmet. The danger of this tactic lies in its ability to create a cycle of self-doubt. Once you start believing that no one else would value you, it becomes harder to imagine leaving. You may start to internalize the idea that you are flawed or unworthy, which can make the thought of seeking support, love, or companionship elsewhere feel daunting, if not impossible. This emotional isolation is precisely what the manipulator intends. It ensures that their power over you remains intact. But the truth is, no one is beyond love or understanding. Everyone has their unique challenges, their strengths, and their flaws, and these do not make anyone unworthy of connection. Relationships are meant to be spaces of mutual growth, understanding, and respect, not prisons built on fear and dependency. Someone who genuinely values you will never use your vulnerabilities as weapons or make you feel like a burden for being yourself. Instead, they will encourage your growth, celebrate your individuality, and stand by you through challenges without resorting to manipulation. It's important to recognize this tactic for what it is: a projection of the other person's insecurities. Their need to diminish your self-worth often stems from their fear of inadequacy or their inability to foster a relationship based on equality. Rather than addressing their own shortcomings, they choose to focus on your perceived flaws, amplifying them to maintain a sense of control. Understanding this doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help you see that their words are not a reflection of your value, they are a reflection of their fears. If you find yourself on the receiving end of this phrase, it's essential to challenge its validity. Reflect on the relationships in your life, friends, family, or colleagues who appreciate you for who you are. Think about the qualities you bring to the table: your kindness, your resilience, your authenticity. These are not traits to be dismissed or belittled. They are the foundation of your worth. Remind yourself that love and connection are not conditional upon perfection, and the right people in your life will embrace you fully, not put up with you. Leaving a relationship where such tactics are used can be daunting, especially if your confidence has been undermined. But walking away is not just an act of courage, it's an affirmation of your value. You deserve to be in relationships that uplift you, not ones that trap you in cycles of self-doubt. No one has the right to make you feel unworthy of love or acceptance. The journey to reclaiming your self-worth begins with recognizing the manipulation, rejecting its narrative, and embracing the truth: you are enough, just as you are, and you are deserving of relationships built on respect, kindness, and equality. When someone says you're overthinking it, it may seem like an attempt to calm you down or encourage simplicity, but often it carries a far more dismissive undertone. At its worst, this phrase is a subtle weapon used to undermine your instincts, invalidate your concerns, and plant seeds of self-doubt. It shifts the focus from the issue at hand to your thought process, implying that your perspective is flawed, exaggerated, or unwarranted. While overthinking can genuinely be a challenge for some, this statement, when used tactically, is more about silencing you than supporting you. At its core, your overthinking it is a minimization of your internal process. It discounts the time, care, and effort you've invested in analyzing a situation, instead framing your thoughtfulness as a weakness or an annoyance. It suggests that your observations are unimportant, or that you are blowing things out of proportion, regardless of whether your concerns are valid. This dismissal can be especially damaging in situations where you're grappling with uncertainty or trying to make sense of complex emotions or experiences. The phrase also has a way of undermining trust in yourself. When someone tells you that you're overthinking, it implies that your instincts are unreliable or that your ability to assess a situation is inherently flawed. Over time, hearing this can lead you to question your own judgment, even in situations where your intuition is guiding you correctly. Instead of feeling empowered to act or speak up, you might begin to second-guess yourself, fearing that you're being irrational or overly analytical. This tactic is often used to sidestep accountability. When you raise a valid concern or observation, hearing you're overthinking it redirects the attention away from the actual issue and places the blame on you for overanalyzing. It creates a convenient way for the other person to avoid addressing your concerns while simultaneously making you feel like you're the problem. This deflection can be particularly harmful in relationships as it prevents open communication and fosters an environment where your feelings and perceptions are consistently dismissed. This phrase can mask an underlying power dynamic. By telling you that you're overthinking, the other person positions themselves as the voice of reason, implying that they have a clearer or more accurate understanding of the situation. This subtly reinforces a hierarchy where their perspective is valid and yours is not. In extreme cases, this dynamic can evolve into emotional manipulation, where you are continually made to feel small, irrational, or overly emotional. Not all instances of this phrase come from a place of malice. Sometimes people genuinely believe they are helping by urging you to simplify your thoughts or look at the bigger picture. But even when well-intentioned, this statement often fails to offer meaningful support. It brushes past the nuances of your experience, leaving you feeling unheard and dismissed rather than validated and reassured. So how do you respond when someone says you're overthinking it? First, take a moment to pause and assess the situation. Are you truly caught in a loop of excessive analysis, or are your concerns legitimate and worth exploring further? Reflect on whether the person making this comment has a pattern of dismissing your thoughts, or if this instance is an exception. Trusting yourself in this process is key. Your intuition and instincts exist for a reason, and they often provide valuable insights that deserve to be considered. If the comment feels dismissive or invalidating, it's important to assert your feelings. Calmly explain why the issue matters to you and express that you'd like your concerns to be heard without being dismissed as overthinking. For example, you might say, I understand you think I'm overthinking, but this is something that feels important to me, and I'd appreciate it if we could discuss it further. This approach redirects the focus back to the topic at hand while reinforcing your right to voice your thoughts. It's also crucial to surround yourself with people who respect and value your perspective. In healthy relationships, your instincts and concerns are not minimized, but rather acknowledged and explored. Those who genuinely care about you will work to understand your viewpoint, even if they don't entirely agree with it. They won't dismiss your thoughts as overthinking. Instead, they will seek to understand the root of your concerns and collaborate with you to address them. The phrase "you're overthinking it" often says more about the person who uses it than it does about you. It reflects their unwillingness or inability to engage with the depth of your thoughts or emotions. Your ability to think critically, analyze situations, and trust your instincts is a strength, not a flaw. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Stay confident in your ability to process the world around you, and remember that your thoughts and feelings are valid, even when others try to diminish them. "I'm sorry you feel that way" is a phrase that carries the veneer of an apology but lacks genuine accountability. On the surface, it might sound like an acknowledgement of your emotions, but a closer examination reveals its deflective nature. Rather than addressing the core issue or taking responsibility for the action that caused harm, this statement shifts the focus onto your feelings as though they are the problem. It's a subtle yet powerful way to avoid blame, invalidate your experience, and maintain control of the narrative. What makes this phrase particularly frustrating is its ambiguity. Unlike a direct apology, which acknowledges a specific wrongdoing, "I'm sorry you feel that way" centers on your emotional response rather than the action that triggered it. For instance, if you confront someone about hurtful behavior and they respond with this phrase, they are essentially sidestepping their role in the situation. Instead of saying, "I'm sorry I hurt you" or "I'm sorry for what I said," they imply that your feelings are an unfortunate reaction to something they see as neutral or justified. The statement also subtly absolves the person of responsibility. By framing the issue as your emotional response rather than their behavior, they shift the blame onto you. It creates a dynamic where you're left defending your feelings instead of discussing the original issue. This tactic can make you second-guess yourself, wondering if you're overreacting or being unreasonable. Over time, repeated exposure to this kind of deflection can erode your confidence in your own perceptions and experiences. "I'm sorry you feel that way" can feel dismissive. It lacks empathy and conveys an unwillingness to engage with your perspective. A genuine apology seeks to bridge the gap between two people by acknowledging harm, expressing remorse, and offering a path toward resolution. This phrase, however, often does the opposite. It closes the door on meaningful dialogue and signals that the person isn't interested in understanding or addressing the root of the issue. In many cases, this type of apology is used as a defense mechanism. The person saying it might be uncomfortable with vulnerability, accountability, or conflict. By offering a non-apology, they can quickly diffuse the situation without having to confront their own actions or make changes. While this may protect their ego in the short term, it damages trust and connection in the relationship over time. When you encounter this phrase, it's essential to recognize its limitations and decide how to respond. If the relationship is important to you, consider addressing the deflection directly. You might say, I appreciate that you're acknowledging my feelings, but I'd like us to focus on the behavior that led to this situation. This approach redirects the conversation toward accountability while giving the other person an opportunity to engage more meaningfully. It's also worth evaluating the context in which this phrase is used. Is it part of a broader pattern of deflection and avoidance? Or is it a one-off instance where the person might not realize the impact of their words? In some cases, people use this phrase because they don't know how to apologize effectively or are unaware of how dismissive it sounds. Offering them a chance to clarify their intentions can sometimes lead to a more productive conversation. If the person consistently relies on "I'm sorry you feel that way" to evade accountability, it may be a sign of deeper issues in the relationship. Healthy relationships, whether personal or professional, are built on mutual respect, understanding, and a willingness to take responsibility for one's actions. If someone is unwilling to acknowledge their role in causing harm or consistently invalidates your feelings, it may be necessary to set boundaries or reconsider the relationship. A genuine apology requires more than just words. It demands accountability, empathy, and a commitment to change. "I'm sorry you feel that way" falls short of these standards, offering a hollow acknowledgement that does little to repair the harm caused. While it's natural to want validation and resolution, it's important to recognize when an apology is insincere or insufficient. Your feelings are valid, and you deserve to be in relationships where they are respected and addressed, not minimized or dismissed. When someone says, "This is just how I am," it often carries a tone of finality, as though their behavior, attitude, or habits are set in stone. At first glance, it might appear as an honest declaration of self-awareness or a defense of individuality. However, beneath this surface lies a refusal to grow or change, an attempt to mask irresponsibility as authenticity. Rather than being a statement of self-acceptance, it often becomes a convenient excuse for avoiding accountability or effort. At its core, this phrase shuts down dialogue. It implies that any attempt to address an issue or request a change is futile because the person believes their traits or actions are immutable. This can leave others feeling frustrated and helpless, as though their concerns are unworthy of consideration. It creates a barrier to meaningful communication as it dismisses the possibility of compromise or mutual understanding. In relationships, whether personal or professional, this unwillingness to engage or adapt can erode trust and connection. The notion of "this is just how I am" also contradicts the fundamental human capacity for growth. People are inherently dynamic, capable of learning, evolving, and adapting throughout their lives. To claim otherwise is not a testament to authenticity, but rather a rejection of responsibility. For instance, if someone exhibits hurtful behavior and justifies it with this phrase, they are essentially refusing to acknowledge how their actions impact others. Instead of addressing the harm or seeking improvement, they position themselves as victims of their own nature, unable or unwilling to change. Authenticity, in its true sense, is about being honest with oneself and others, but it does not absolve someone of the need to grow. Genuine authenticity recognizes the interplay between staying true to one's core values and being open to self-improvement. It embraces accountability, not as a threat to individuality, but as an opportunity to strengthen relationships and align actions with intentions. When "this is just how I am" is used as a shield, it distorts the meaning of authenticity, turning it into an excuse for stagnation. Another issue with this phrase is its dismissive tone. It often conveys a sense of resignation, as though the person has given up on trying to be better. It signals that they are unwilling to put in the effort required to address challenges, whether those challenges pertain to their behavior, communication style, or habits. This can be particularly damaging in relationships where mutual effort and adaptability are key. When one person clings to "this is just how I am," they place the burden of adjustment entirely on the other party, creating an imbalance that can lead to resentment. This phrase can be a form of deflection. By claiming their behavior is unchangeable, the person avoids confronting uncomfortable truths about themselves. It becomes easier to say "this is just how I am" than to face the vulnerability required for growth. Change often requires introspection, effort, and a willingness to step outside one's comfort zone, all of which can be daunting. However, Avoiding this process only perpetuates the very issues that led to the conflict in the first place. If you find yourself on the receiving end of this phrase, it's important to approach the situation thoughtfully. Begin by recognizing the difference between genuine self-expression and avoidance of responsibility. Sometimes, people use this phrase because they genuinely struggle to see a path forward or lack the tools for self-improvement. In these cases, offering support or suggesting ways to address the issue together can be helpful. However, if the phrase is used repeatedly to shut down conversations or evade accountability, it may be necessary to set boundaries. For those who catch themselves saying, "This is just how I am," it's worth pausing to reflect. Ask yourself, is this truly about embracing your authentic self, or is it a way to avoid discomfort or effort? Consider the impact your words and actions have on those around you. Authenticity does not mean refusing to grow. It means being honest about where you are, while remaining open to who you can become. The statement, "This is just how I am," can be transformed into something far more empowering when approached with self-awareness and humility. Instead of using it to deflect or excuse, use it as a starting point for exploration. This is how I am right now, but I'm willing to work on it. Growth is not about abandoning who you are. It's about becoming the best version of yourself while honoring your core values. By rejecting stagnation and embracing the journey of self-improvement, you can build stronger, more meaningful connections with others and create a life aligned with your true potential. In life, the words people choose often reveal their intentions and the dynamics they bring into relationships. Phrases like, "You're too sensitive," "You're lucky to have me," "No one else will put up with you," "You're overthinking it," "I'm sorry you feel that way, and this is just how I am," are not just dismissive statements. They are subtle tools that can undermine your sense of self-worth, erode your confidence, and trap you in unhealthy dynamics. Recognizing these phrases for what they truly are means to deflect, manipulate, or evade accountability is crucial for your emotional well-being and personal growth. Leaving silently when confronted with such tactics is not a sign of weakness, but an act of self-respect. It is a powerful decision to protect your peace, prioritize your growth, and create space for relationships that are built on mutual respect, understanding, and genuine connection. You deserve to be in environments where your voice is valued, your feelings are honored, and your worth is never in question. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on these insights. Remember, setting boundaries and walking away when necessary are acts of courage and self-love. Stay true to yourself and never settle for anything less than the respect and kindness you deserve. Thank you. Mate.
Today I want you to hear this truth. With the deepest part of your being, the universe is about to return everything you've lost. The losses, the disappointments, the heartbreaks, they are not the end, but simply part of a greater cycle. What you've lost was never truly lost. The universe does not take things from you without a plan to return them, and in many cases the return is far greater than you could ever imagine. Your thoughts shape your reality, and in this moment, everything that you've desired is on its way to you. You may not see it yet, but I assure you, the wheels are in motion. You see, the law of attraction is not some abstract idea. It's a law that operates every moment of every day. Your thoughts are the energy that commands the universe to deliver what you need. If you've been feeling as if you've lost everything, let me remind you, you have only been in a period of waiting, a time for your thoughts to align with the abundance that is already yours. Do not look at your circumstances, your current reality, or the things that seem impossible. Instead, believe. Believe in the unseen. Trust that the universe is responding to the powerful thoughts you've been holding in your mind, thoughts of restoration and reclamation. The key to unlocking this return is your unwavering faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the universe, faith in the process. Your desires are already on their way. Now you must surrender to the process. Release any need to control the how or the when. The universe works in its own time. When you stop chasing, stop questioning, and stop worrying, you open the space for the miraculous to enter your life. It's time to trust that what is yours will always come back to you. You are a creator, and the universe responds to your vision. Visualize every single thing you've lost, whether it's a person, a possession, or an opportunity, returning to you in its highest form. Imagine it now, feel it as if it's already in your life, and know that your visualization is shaping your future. The clearer your vision, the faster your reality will reflect it. Is in the midst of this journey, always remain grateful, even for the losses. Gratitude is the energy that brings more of what you want into your life. When you thank the universe for what you've lost, you open a channel for it to come back, multiplied and perfected. Right now, the universe is at work, returning to you everything that you've lost, and so much more. Keep the faith, keep the vision clear, and stay open. Everything is returning to you, and it's going to be more magnificent than you could have ever imagined. Every experience, every encounter, every circumstance in your life, whether good or bad, has its roots in the thoughts you have held in your mind. This is the fundamental truth behind the law of attraction. The law of attraction is not some mystical concept, it is a universal principle that governs your existence. It is the very mechanism through which your reality is created. Your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas or passing whims. They are powerful energies that shape the world around you. When you understand this, when you truly grasp the significance of your thoughts, you realize that you are the creator of your life. The universe, in its vast and infinite wisdom, responds to the energy you emit through your thoughts. Every thought you think sends out a frequency, an energetic signature into the universe. And the universe, in turn, mirrors that frequency back to you in the form of experiences, people, and events. Whether you are conscious of it or not, you are constantly sending out vibrations into the world. If you are focused on scarcity, lack, or fear, the universe will reflect more of that back to you. If you are focused on abundance, love, and possibility, the universe will respond with more of the same. One of the key aspects of the law of attraction is that it doesn't distinguish between positive and negative thoughts. It doesn't care whether you're thinking about something you want or something you don't want. The energy behind your thoughts is what matters. For example, if you constantly worry about not having enough money, you're emitting a vibration of lack and scarcity. The universe, without judgment, responds by bringing more lack into your life. It doesn't matter that your intention is to have abundance, the frequency you're sending out is one of not having enough. And so that becomes your reality. On the other hand, when you focus on what you desire, when you align your thoughts with abundance, the universe has no choice but to respond accordingly. Abundance is not a limited resource. There is more than enough for everyone. The universe operates on an infinite scale, and your ability to tap into that abundance begins with your thoughts. When you consistently think about wealth, health, love, and success, you begin to attune yourself to the frequency of those things. As your thoughts align with this higher vibration, the universe starts to rearrange itself in order to bring those things into your life. But it's not just about positive thinking. It's about genuinely shifting your mindset, your emotions, and your belief system. It's about aligning every part of your being with the abundant nature of the universe. You must feel the emotions of abundance in your heart, not just think the thoughts. The thoughts and feelings must match, for the universe responds to your vibration as a whole, not just one aspect of it. If your mind is filled with thoughts of wealth, but your heart is filled with fear of not having enough, then you are sending out conflicting signals. This inner conflict is what causes delays and struggles in manifesting your desires. The key to unlocking the power of the law of attraction is to align your mind with what you want, and to do so consistently. It's not enough to think positively for a few minutes or days and expect the universe to respond. The law of attraction requires persistence. It requires that you consistently focus your thoughts on what you want, and that you feel gratitude for the things you have, even before they manifest in your life. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions you can emit. When you are grateful for what you have, the universe will bring more things for you to be grateful for. As you begin to align your mind with abundance, you will notice that your reality begins to shift. Opportunities will appear that you never saw before. People will come into your life who resonate with your newfound vibration. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, will bring you what you have focused on. But remember, the law of attraction is not magic. It is simply the natural response of the universe to the energy you are emitting. The more you align your thoughts with abundance, the more the universe will respond with abundance in your life. The power has always been within you. It is now time for you to claim it. You are not a passive observer in the world, simply drifting through life as events unfold around you. You are the creator of your reality, the architect of every experience you encounter. This truth is not just a philosophical concept, but a fundamental law of the universe that governs your existence. Every moment of your life is the result of the thoughts, beliefs, and actions that you have chosen in the past, and in every new moment you hold the power to create and recreate your reality. The idea that you are the creator of your life can be difficult to grasp for many. We often find ourselves caught in the belief that external circumstances, other people, or forces beyond our control determine the course of our lives. But this is an illusion. The truth is, you are the one who shapes your world. Your mind is a powerful tool, capable of shaping your life in ways that may seem impossible at first glance. When you realize this, when you truly believe it, everything in your life begins to shift. Your thoughts are the blueprint for the reality you experience. Just as an architect designs a building before it takes form in the physical world, your mind designs your reality before it manifests in your life. Every idea, every desire, every goal you hold in your heart is the foundation for what you will eventually see around you. If you focus on what you want, rather than what you don't have, you are laying the foundation for a future that aligns with your desires. The key is to consciously direct your thoughts, to choose thoughts that empower you, and to reject those that limit you. When you understand that you are the creator of your reality, you realize that you also have the power to rebuild and restore what has been lost. Whether it's love, wealth, health, or peace of mind, the power to manifest and restore these things is within you. Nothing is beyond your reach, for you are the one who holds the keys to your own transformation. You are not at the mercy of external forces. Instead, you are the force that shapes the world around you. What you have lost is not gone forever. It is simply waiting for you to restore it with your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Restoration begins with a shift in perspective. It requires you to recognize that loss is not permanent, but rather an opportunity for growth. When something is taken from you, whether it's a relationship, an opportunity, or a piece of your own sense of self, it is a sign that something better is on its way. But in order for that better thing to come, you must first recognize the power you have to create it. You must believe that you are worthy of what you desire, and you must be willing to rebuild your life in alignment with your highest vision. To manifest, rebuild, and restore, you must first become aware of your thoughts and beliefs. You must question the narrative you've been telling yourself about what is possible. Have you been believing in scarcity or lack? Have you been telling yourself that it is too late to have what you want? Or that you are not deserving of success and happiness? These limiting beliefs are the very things that keep you from creating the life you desire. When you change your internal narrative and begin to believe in your ability to create, everything around you begins to change as well. But this process does not happen overnight. You must be patient, persistent, and committed to your vision. As you focus on what you want to create, you will begin to see signs that the universe is working in your favor. Opportunities will arise that align with your new mindset. People will come into your life who support and uplift you. The pieces will fall into place in ways that seem almost magical, but they are the natural result of the power you have harnessed within yourself. You are the creator of your reality, and the universe is always responding to your thoughts and feelings. The power to manifest, rebuild, and restore is yours. The only question is, will you take control of your life and use that power to create the reality you deserve? The choice is always yours, and the universe is waiting for you to step into your full potential. Faith is a powerful force, an unseen energy that flows through the fabric of your reality, connecting your desires to their eventual manifestation. It is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Faith allows you to trust in the unseen forces of the universe, even when the physical evidence of your desires seems absent. It is the belief that what you seek is already on its way to you, regardless of what your current circumstances suggest. Faith is not just about believing in something abstract or intangible. It is an unwavering trust in the process of creation. When you have faith, you acknowledge that the universe is always working in your favor, even when you can't see it with your physical eyes. It is the understanding that the circumstances around you do not dictate the outcome of your desires. The outer world is merely a reflection of the inner world, and faith gives you the strength to believe that your inner world is more powerful than anything external. When you truly understand the power of faith, you realize that it is not dependent on what you can see or hear. Faith is an internal knowing that what you desire is inevitable. It is the confidence that, despite appearances, the universe is aligning everything in your favor. This knowing comes from within, from the understanding that the universe is not limited by time or space. It works on a higher plane, orchestrating events, people, and opportunities that align perfectly with your desires. It's important to note that faith is not a passive state of waiting. It's an active force that requires you to remain committed to your vision, even when challenges arise. In fact, the more you are faced with adversity, the stronger your faith must become. Faith is not just believing when things are going well, but trusting in the process even when things seem to be falling apart. It's in these moments that your faith is tested and strengthened. When your current circumstances do not align with your desires, it is easy to doubt, to question whether the universe is really on your side. This is where faith becomes crucial. Faith is the ability to remain steadfast in your belief, even when everything around you seems to be saying otherwise. It is the courage to continue moving forward with the knowing that the universe is at work, behind the scenes, rearranging things for your highest good. You see, the universe does not work according to the timeline you have in mind. Your desires are already in motion, but they may not manifest according to your expectations or at the exact moment you want them. This is where the power of faith truly lies, in trusting that the universe's timing is always perfect. Faith allows you to release the need for control and surrender to the flow of life. It's about trusting that even if things don't look the way you want them to right now, everything is unfolding as it should. To have faith is to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the belief that what you desire is already yours. When you trust that the universe is guiding you, you stop trying to force things into place. Instead, you take inspired action, knowing that the steps you take are leading you toward your desired outcome. Faith is not about sitting back and doing nothing. It is about taking inspired action with the confidence that the universe is working alongside you to manifest your dreams. One of the greatest gifts faith gives you is peace. When you trust in the unseen forces at play, you no longer have to worry about how or when your desires will manifest. You simply know that they will. Faith removes the fear of the unknown and replaces it with an inner peace, a knowing that everything is unfolding in divine order. Faith is the key to unlocking the doors of manifestation. It is the power that allows you to believe in the inevitable return of what is yours, even if your present circumstances suggest otherwise. When you cultivate unwavering faith in the process and in the universe, you open yourself to receive everything you've ever dreamed of, knowing that it is already on its way. Trust in the unseen forces, for they are always working in your favor, guiding you toward the fulfillment of your deepest desires. Surrendering to the process of manifestation is one of the most profound shifts you can make in your journey of creation. It requires a deep understanding that while you are the creator of your reality, you are not in control of every detail, every timing, or the precise way in which your desires will unfold. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, operates on a level far beyond your current understanding, and it knows exactly when and how to return what is rightfully yours. Your role is to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desires, but then to let go of the need to control how they will manifest. Attachment to the how and the when is one of the most common obstacles to manifesting your desires. You may have a clear vision of what you want, but often the mind begins to obsess over how it will happen. Will it come through a certain job, relationship, or opportunity? When will it arrive? The more you focus on these questions, the more you create resistance to the very thing you want. You are essentially telling the universe that you don't trust the process, that you don't believe it has a better plan for you. The truth is, you are not meant to control the details. Surrendering to the process means trusting that the universe will deliver what is meant for you in a way that you could not have possibly anticipated. The universe works in its own time and space. This means that it does not operate on the same linear timeline that we often impose on ourselves. The universe is not bound by time, and it is not confined to our limited perceptions of how things should unfold. It is working behind the scenes, aligning people, opportunities, and circumstances in a way that is perfect for your growth and evolution. What may seem like delays or detours are simply the universe making sure that everything falls into place in the most harmonious way possible. When you surrender to this process, you stop trying to micromanage the unfolding of your desires. You release the pressure to make things happen at a certain speed or in a specific manner. Instead, you begin to trust that everything is unfolding in divine order, even if it doesn't match your initial expectations. This shift in perspective allows you to relax into the process, knowing that the universe is always working in your favor. Surrender is not about giving up on your dreams, it's about letting go of the need to control the timing and the how. It is about trusting that you are worthy of what you desire and that the universe will bring it to you in the most perfect way. When you trust the process, you free yourself from the anxiety and frustration that come from trying to force things into existence. You create space for your desires to manifest without the resistance of doubt and fear. One of the most liberating aspects of surrendering to the process is that it allows you to focus on what truly matters, the present moment. When you are not consumed with worrying about the future or how things will unfold, you can fully immerse yourself in the here and now. You can enjoy the journey, appreciating every step along the way, and trust that your desires are being guided toward you. The universe is always in motion. Even when you cannot see it, it is constantly rearranging circumstances and orchestrating events to bring you closer to your desires. Your job is to stay aligned with your vision, remain open to the possibilities, and allow the universe to work its magic. When you stop trying to control every detail, you create space for miracles to unfold. Surrendering to the process also involves releasing any attachment to outcomes. Sometimes we become so attached to a particular outcome that we close ourselves off to other possibilities. We may become fixated on one specific way that things should manifest, and in doing so, we limit the flow of energy. When you let go of attachment to a specific outcome, you open yourself up to the infinite possibilities that the universe has to offer. You trust that whatever is meant for you will come, and that it will come in the perfect form and timing. Surrender is the key to receiving everything you've ever desired. It's about trusting in the flow of life and the wisdom of the universe. When you let go of the need to control the how and when you align with the natural rhythm of creation, you become a vessel through which your desires flow effortlessly into your life. By surrendering to the process, you allow the universe to return to you what is rightfully yours, knowing that it will come at exactly the right time and in exactly the right way. Trust in the process, and everything you desire will manifest in perfect harmony. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is an energy that can shift the trajectory of your life in an instant. When you express genuine gratitude for what you have, for the things that are going well, and even for the things you've lost, you create a powerful energetic channel that allows the universe to respond in kind, returning to you that which you have expressed appreciation for. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a vibration that communicates to the universe your openness to receive more, to receive even greater abundance. The act of gratitude is an acknowledgement that you are already abundant. It may be easy to express thanks when everything is going well, when you're receiving the things you desire, but true power lies in expressing gratitude for what has been lost. When you can appreciate what you've lost, Even if it seems like a setback or a disappointment, you send a message to the universe that you understand its greater plan. Loss, in this sense, is not permanent. It is a temporary moment that has made space for something even better to come into your life. By giving thanks for these losses, you open yourself to receive far more than you could have imagined. Gratitude aligns you with the energy of abundance. When you focus on the good in your life, no matter how small, you begin to shift your vibration. Every moment of gratitude you express raises your energy and sends a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. The more you are thankful, the more you attract into your life. Gratitude is not about the circumstances in which you find yourself, but about your attitude toward them. It is an invitation for the universe to bring more into your experience, whether it's more love, more wealth, or more opportunities. It's an open invitation to receive all the blessings that life has to offer. The universe works on a law of resonance. Like attracts like, and when you send out positive energy through gratitude, you create a frequency that attracts similar energy back to you. The energy of gratitude vibrates at a high frequency, and the universe, which is always in motion, responds in kind. As you express appreciation for what you have, even if it is just the simple, everyday things, you open yourself up to a flow of energy that matches that high vibration. This flow can bring back not only what you've lost, but even more of what you desire. It's the law of abundance in action. When you are grateful for what you've lost, you are essentially closing the door to lack and opening a window to abundance. Often people focus on what is missing from their lives, what they don't have, and this focus keeps them locked in a state of scarcity. But gratitude shifts that focus to what you already have, even if it's just the lessons learned from past experiences or the growth that has occurred from the challenges you faced. By shifting your focus in this way, you create an energetic space for the universe to return to you that which you've lost, and even more, in a way that you couldn't have planned. The key to this energetic exchange is sincerity. True gratitude is not simply saying thank you for the sake of it. It is feeling the energy of gratitude deep within your being. It is a heartfelt appreciation for everything in your life, including the difficult moments. When you genuinely feel gratitude, you raise your vibrational frequency, and this aligns you with the flow of abundance. You become a magnet for blessings, and the universe responds by bringing you even greater opportunities, love, wealth, and experiences that align with your desires. It is important to remember that gratitude does not mean resignation. It is not about accepting circumstances that you do not want to remain in. Rather, gratitude is about acknowledging that everything is temporary and that the universe is always in motion, working behind the scenes to bring what is best for you. When you focus on gratitude, even in times of loss or difficulty, you are signaling to the universe that you trust the process, that you believe that better things are on their way. By consistently practicing gratitude, you open yourself up to a constant flow of blessings. The more you appreciate, the more you create space for the universe to give you more to appreciate. Gratitude is a continual cycle. What you give, you receive. What you appreciate expands. When you express gratitude for what you've lost, you create an energetic channel that allows the universe to bring it back in even greater abundance. You allow your desires to return to you multiplied, and this abundance flows to you in ways that are often beyond your imagination. Gratitude is a key to unlocking the universe's abundant flow. It is a tool for manifesting everything you've lost and more. When you practice gratitude for all that you have and for all that you've lost, you align with the energy of abundance, inviting the universe to bring your desires back in even greater form. The power of vision is an often overlooked yet essential tool in the process of manifestation. To visualize with intensity and clarity is to activate the creative power that lies within you. When you hold a clear mental image of what you desire to return to you, you are essentially programming your mind and the universe itself to bring that vision into physical reality. The clearer and more vivid your vision, the quicker the universe will respond, aligning people, events, and circumstances to bring that vision to life. Your mind is a powerful instrument that can shape your reality, and vision acts as the blueprint for that creation. Vision is not merely daydreaming, it is a focused, deliberate practice that involves engaging your imagination, emotions, and senses in the process of seeing your desires as if they are already here. The more detailed your vision, the more potent it becomes. For instance, if you are visualizing the return of something you've lost, whether it's a relationship, financial abundance, or peace of mind, you must see it clearly in your mind's eye. Imagine the feelings associated with having that thing again, how it looks, how it feels, the emotions it stirs within you. When you can vividly imagine your desires and experience the emotions tied to them, you send a strong signal to the universe, a signal that is charged with energy and intent. This energy becomes the force that compels the universe to respond. Clarity in your vision is crucial. The more precise and focused you are about what you want, the more accurately the universe can deliver it. If your vision is muddled or vague, the universe cannot align to your desires effectively. Think about a time when you've been unsure about what you wanted in life. How did the outcomes manifest? They were often unclear or unsatisfactory because your desires were not specific enough to draw the universe's full attention. To manifest with speed and ease, you must define exactly what you want. The clearer your mental picture, the more precise the action of manifestation becomes. One of the most powerful aspects of vision is its ability to shape your reality through focused thought. When you hold a vision in your mind and consistently return to it, you are reinforcing that reality, training your mind to believe it is possible and inevitable. Every time you visualize your desires with intensity, you are taking a step closer to seeing them materialize in your physical world. Your thoughts, which are the precursor to your actions, begin to align with the vision you are holding. As a result, you begin to see opportunities, people, and situations in your life that are in harmony with your vision. What once seemed impossible now becomes an achievable reality because you have trained your mind and energy to align with the very thing you seek. When you are deeply invested in your vision, you infuse it with emotional energy. Emotions are the fuel that propels the manifestation process. The universe responds to the energy of emotions. And when you pair your vision with powerful emotions such as joy, love, and gratitude, you are sending out a magnetic force that attracts your desires with greater speed. The emotional component adds another layer of depth to your vision, making it more potent and more likely to manifest. It is the emotion you feel as you visualize your desires that speeds up the process, for emotion is what gives vision its power. Visualization should be done with consistency and dedication. Just like any skill, the more you practice, the stronger it becomes. By dedicating time each day to visualizing your desires with clarity and intensity, you are reinforcing the image in your subconscious mind. The subconscious is where true creation begins. It is the foundation from which your thoughts and actions spring. When you train your subconscious mind to accept your vision as reality, the external world begins to shift to match that internal image. Your actions, your words, and your energy all begin to reflect the vision you hold. And this alignment is what speeds up manifestation. It is important to remain patient while visualizing, as the universe works in its own time and space. However, when you hold a clear vision with intensity, trusting in the process and releasing attachment to how and when it will unfold, the manifestation process is accelerated. Your unwavering belief in the power of your vision acts as the catalyst that drives the universe to bring your desires into form. The power of vision is an extraordinary tool that, when used with clarity and intensity, can bring anything you desire back into your life. The clearer your vision, the faster the universe will respond. Visualization, when paired with emotion and consistency, creates a powerful energetic force that aligns your mind, body, and the universe to bring your desires to fruition. By embracing this power, you are not just waiting for things to happen, you are actively co-creating your reality, with the universe as your partner in manifestation. The clearer you see it, the sooner it will come to you. In conclusion, the universe operates through the powerful principles of alignment, faith, and gratitude. By trusting in your vision, Embracing the energy of gratitude and surrendering to the natural flow of the universe, you unlock the potential to bring back everything you've lost and more. The clarity and intensity with which you visualize your desires, coupled with unwavering faith in their return, will inevitably align your reality with the abundance you seek. Remember, you are the creator of your experience, and everything you've lost is simply making space for something greater. Trust the process, remain patient, and stay aligned with the energy of what you want to bring back into your life. Thank you for your time, your focus, and your dedication to manifesting all that is rightfully yours. The universe is already responding to your intentions. Imagine for a moment that the answers to every question, the solution to every problem, and the fulfillment of every desire already exist. Where would you search for them? Would you wander the world chasing fleeting treasures? Or would you turn inward, seeking the eternal source? To seek the kingdom of God is not a journey outward, it is an awakening within. The kingdom is not a place you visit, it is a state of being you embody. Scripture tells us the kingdom of God is within you. This is not metaphorical, it is literal. Within the depths of your consciousness lies the infinite power to create, transform, and manifest. To enter this kingdom, you must first align yourself with its laws. These are not the laws of man, bound by limitation and fear. No, these are the laws of faith, imagination, and divine certainty. The kingdom responds not to your words, but to your inner conviction. It recognizes the language of feeling. Ask yourself, do you feel as though you already possess what you seek? Do you see yourself as the person you desire to be? If not, you have yet to find the kingdom. For in the kingdom there is no lack, no struggle, no separation from your desires. Everything exists in divine completion. Faith is your key. To believe without doubt, to trust without wavering, is to align yourself with the infinite. But faith is more than belief, it is a knowing that surpasses evidence. It is the willingness to step into the unknown, trusting that the unseen will reveal itself. Begin now by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and imagine the life you desire. Feel the joy, the peace, the gratitude as though it is already yours. This is how you seek the kingdom, not through striving, but through surrendering to the truth of your being. Detach yourself from the illusions of the outer world. The physical realm may tempt you with appearances of lack, but they are shadows of a deeper reality. Do not be swayed by what your eyes see. Instead, trust what your heart knows. Give thanks. Gratitude is the vibration of abundance, and it draws to you all that you desire. When you are thankful as though you already have, the kingdom opens its doors. Seek first the kingdom of God not through effort, but through faith, imagination, and love, and all things shall be added unto you. The kingdom is here, it is now, and it is yours. The kingdom of God is not a place you can physically visit, nor is it something you can discover through external means. It is not hidden in the far corners of the earth, nor does it require a pilgrimage to sacred sites. The kingdom resides within you, waiting patiently for your recognition. It has always been there, untouched by the limitations of time and space, and it holds the answers to the deepest questions of your soul. To understand this, you must first realize that the external world is but a reflection of your inner state. What you see, feel, and experience outwardly originates from the invisible realm within you. This is the divine truth that so many overlook, distracted by the illusions of the physical world. They seek fulfillment in material possessions, validation from others, or status and success, only to find these pursuits leave them feeling empty. Why? Because they are looking in the wrong place. The kingdom of God does not operate on the level of the external. It is the source from which all things flow. The key to unlocking this kingdom is awareness. Most people live their lives unaware of the immense power within them. They are like heirs to a great fortune who have forgotten their inheritance. The moment you awaken to the truth that the kingdom resides within you, everything changes. You no longer feel bound by circumstances, for you understand that you are the creator of your reality. The power to transform your life lies not in changing the external, but in transforming the inner landscape of your consciousness. Think of your consciousness as the soil of the kingdom. What you plant there through your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs will grow and manifest in the physical world. This is why seeking the kingdom within is so vital. When you cultivate thoughts of love, faith, and abundance, you align yourself with the divine laws that govern creation. When you dwell in fear, doubt, or lack, you cut yourself off from the limitless resources of the kingdom. The choice is always yours, for the kingdom responds to your state of being. The kingdom is not something you earn or achieve. It is not a reward for good behavior or a prize to be won. It is your birthright. You are already a part of it, and it is already a part of you. The only thing required is your recognition. This recognition does not come through intellectual reasoning or external validation. It comes through a deep, intuitive knowing that transcends the mind. It is a quiet realization that you are one with the divine and the divine is one with you. When you begin to live from this understanding, you will notice a profound shift in your life. The struggles that once seemed insurmountable will lose their power over you. The desires that once felt out of reach will flow effortlessly into your experience. This is not because the external world has changed, but because you have aligned yourself with the truth of who you are. The kingdom within you is limitless. It knows no lack, no fear, and no separation. It is pure love, creativity, and abundance. To access the kingdom, you must quiet the noise of the outer world and turn inward. Spend time in stillness, in prayer, or in meditation. These practices help you peel away the layers of doubt and distraction that obscure the kingdom's presence. As you do, you will feel a sense of peace and certainty that nothing in the external world can shake. This is the power of the kingdom. It is unchanging, eternal, and ever-present. The kingdom within you is not just a concept, it is a living reality. It is the source of your being, the essence of your soul, and the wellspring of all that is good. It is not waiting for you to find it, for it has never been lost. It is simply waiting for you to recognize it, to turn inward, and to claim the divine inheritance that is already yours. Once you do, you will understand the profound truth that the kingdom of God is not a distant promise, it is a present reality within you, now and always. The kingdom of God is not a place you can physically visit, nor is it something you can discover through external means. It is not hidden in the far corners of the earth, nor does it require a pilgrimage to sacred sites. The kingdom resides within you, waiting patiently for your recognition. It has always been there, untouched by the limitations of time and space, and it holds the answers to the deepest questions of your soul. To understand this, you must first realize that the external world is but a reflection of your inner state. What you see, feel, and experience outwardly originates from the invisible realm within you. This is the divine truth that so many overlook, distracted by the illusions of the physical world. They seek fulfillment in material possessions, validation from others, or status and success, only to find these pursuits leave them feeling empty. Why? Because they are looking in the wrong place. The kingdom of God does not operate on the level of the external. It is the source from which all things flow. The key to unlocking this kingdom is awareness. Most people live their lives unaware of the immense power within them. They are like heirs to a great fortune who have forgotten their inheritance. The moment you awaken to the truth that the kingdom resides within you, everything changes. You no longer feel bound by circumstances, for you understand that you are the creator of your reality. The power to transform your life lies not in changing the external, but in transforming the inner landscape of your consciousness. Think of your consciousness as the soil of the kingdom. What you plant there through your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs will grow and manifest in the physical world. This is why seeking the kingdom within is so vital. When you cultivate thoughts of love, faith, and abundance, you align yourself with the divine laws that govern creation. When you dwell in fear, doubt, or lack, you cut yourself off from the limitless resources of the kingdom. The choice is always yours, for the kingdom responds to your state of being. The kingdom is not something you earn or achieve. It is not a reward for good behavior or a prize to be won. It is your birthright. You are already a part of it, and it is already a part of you. The only thing required is your recognition. This recognition does not come through intellectual reasoning or external validation. It comes through a deep, intuitive knowing that transcends the mind. It is a quiet realization that you are one with the divine, and the divine is one with you. When you begin to live from this understanding, you will notice a profound shift in your life. The struggles that once seemed insurmountable will lose their power over you. The desires that once felt out of reach will flow effortlessly into your experience. This is not because the external world has changed, but because you have aligned yourself with the truth of who you are. The kingdom within you is limitless. It knows no lack, no fear, and no separation. It is pure love, creativity, and abundance. To access the kingdom, you must quiet the noise of the outer world and turn inward. Spend time in stillness, in prayer, or in meditation. These practices help you peel away the layers of doubt and distraction that obscure the kingdom's presence. As you do, you will feel a sense of peace and certainty that nothing in the external world can shake. This is the power of the kingdom. It is unchanging, eternal, and ever-present. The kingdom within you is not just a concept, it is a living reality. It is the source of your being, the essence of your soul, and the wellspring of all that is good. It is not waiting for you to find it, for it has never been lost. It is simply waiting for you to recognize it, to turn inward, and to claim the divine inheritance that is already yours. Once you do, you will understand the profound truth that the kingdom of God is not a distant promise, it is a present reality, within you, now and always. To seek the kingdom of God is to align your inner world with the divine vision, a vision where all things are possible and limitations dissolve in the face of infinite potential. The divine vision is not something foreign or distant, it is the blueprint of perfection that exists within you, silently guiding you toward your highest self. To align with it, you must first understand that this vision is rooted in love, abundance, and creativity. It is a reflection of the divine mind, ever expanding and endlessly giving. The process of alignment begins with awareness. Most people go through life unaware of the divine vision within them. They are so consumed by the noise of the outer world, the fears, doubts, and distractions that they fail to recognize the still, small voice calling them to something greater. This voice is not loud or forceful, it is gentle and persistent, urging you to rise above appearances and embrace the truth of your being. To align with the divine vision, you must first quiet the noise of the world. Turn inward and listen. In the silence you will find clarity. In the stillness you will perceive the vision that has always been within you. This vision does not come from your physical senses or the reasoning of your mind. It comes from the deeper part of you, the part that knows no separation from the divine. Once you perceive this vision, your task is to bring your inner world into harmony with it. This means shifting your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to align with the truth that all things are possible. If you hold thoughts of limitation or doubt, you are out of alignment with the divine vision. If you allow fear or negativity to dominate your emotions, you are closing yourself off from the limitless possibilities of the kingdom. Aligning with the divine vision requires faith in the unseen, faith in the power within you, and faith in the perfection of the divine plan. This faith is not blind optimism, it is a deep knowing that transcends appearances. Even when the external world seems chaotic or discouraging, faith anchors you in the reality of the kingdom, where all things are already accomplished. To cultivate this faith, practice seeing beyond the physical. When you look at your circumstances, do not accept them as fixed or final. Instead, see them as malleable, shaped by the power of your inner vision. Imagine the life you desire as though it is already yours. Feel the joy, the peace, and the fulfillment of living in alignment with the divine. This is not wishful thinking, it is the creative process by which the kingdom operates. As you align your inner world with the divine vision, you will notice a profound transformation in your life. Opportunities will appear where there seemed to be none. Relationships will flourish and obstacles will dissolve. This is not because the outer world has suddenly changed, it is because your inner alignment has shifted, and the outer world must reflect this change. The physical realm is a mirror of your inner state, and when your inner world is in harmony with the divine vision, the mirror reflects beauty, abundance, and perfection. The divine vision also calls you to live in integrity with your highest self. This means acting in ways that align with love, compassion, and truth. It means letting go of behaviors and attitudes that are rooted in fear or selfishness. When you live in alignment with the divine vision, your actions become an extension of your inner harmony. You radiate the qualities of the kingdom: peace, joy, and abundance, and these qualities ripple out to bless others. It is important to understand that aligning with the divine vision is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. Life will present challenges and distractions, tempting you to fall back into old patterns of doubt and fear. In these moments, return to the vision. Remind yourself of the truth that the kingdom is within you and that all things are possible. Through persistence and faith, this alignment becomes your natural state. You no longer strive or struggle, for you are in harmony with the flow of divine creation. The vision guides you effortlessly, and you move through life with a sense of purpose and grace. The kingdom is not something you seek outside yourself, it is the reality you embody when you align with the divine vision within. This is the path to fulfillment, peace, and infinite possibility. Faith is the cornerstone of accessing the kingdom of God, the unseen reality that exists beyond the limits of our physical senses. It is the pathway that bridges the gap between what is visible and what is yet to manifest. To walk this path, you must cultivate an unwavering belief in the unseen, a belief that is not dictated by appearances or circumstances, but is rooted in the truth of your divine nature. Faith is the foundation upon which the kingdom stands, and without it, the doors to infinite possibilities remain closed. Faith begins with the recognition that there is more to life than what meets the eye. The physical world, as tangible as it seems, is but a shadow of a deeper, more profound reality. This unseen reality, the kingdom of God, operates on principles that transcend the material. It is a realm of infinite potential, where all things are possible, and where every desire and dream already exist in its perfect form. To access this realm, you must trust in its existence, even when there is no physical evidence to support it. This trust, however, is not blind or naive. It is a deep inner knowing, a certainty that goes beyond logic or reason. It is the quiet assurance that the power of the divine is working within you, even when the outer world appears unchanged. This kind of faith requires you to shift your focus from the external to the internal, from the seen to the unseen. It asks you to rely not on what your eyes can see, but on what your heart knows to be true. Faith is not passive, it is an active force that shapes your reality. When you hold a vision of what you desire and maintain faith in its fulfillment, you align yourself with the creative power of the kingdom. This alignment is not about hoping or wishing, it is about knowing. It is standing firm in the belief that what you seek is already yours, even before it appears in your experience. This unwavering belief creates a vibrational match between you and your desire, drawing it into your life with the certainty of divine law. Doubt is the greatest enemy of faith. When you allow doubt to enter your mind, you sever the connection between you and the kingdom. Doubt arises when you focus on appearances and allow them to dictate your beliefs. It whispers that your desires are too big, that the obstacles are too great, or that you are unworthy of receiving what you seek. To overcome doubt, you must anchor yourself in the truth that the kingdom is not limited by the physical world. It operates on a higher plane, where all things are possible. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate faith is through imagination. Imagination is the tool by which you connect with the unseen reality of the kingdom. When you imagine your desires as already fulfilled, you create a mental blueprint that the divine power within you brings to life. This act of imagining is not mere fantasy, it is a spiritual practice that activates the creative forces of the universe. It allows you to see beyond appearances and focus on the truth of what is possible. It also requires patience. The kingdom operates in perfect timing, which often differs from our own expectations. When you plant a seed of faith, you must give it time to grow. Impatience is a sign of doubt, a lack of trust in the process. True faith remains steadfast, even when the results are not immediately visible. It understands that delays are not denials but opportunities for greater growth and alignment. Living with faith transforms every aspect of your life. It replaces fear with confidence, lack with abundance, and struggle with ease. It allows you to navigate challenges with grace, knowing that the power of the kingdom is always working on your behalf. Faith gives you the strength to let go of control and trust in the divine order of things. It frees you from the need to force outcomes, allowing you to flow with the natural rhythm of creation. Faith is the pathway to the kingdom because it aligns you with the divine power within you. It is the key that unlocks the door to infinite possibilities, the bridge that connects you to your highest self. When you live with faith, you are no longer a passive observer of life, you become a conscious creator, shaping your reality in harmony with the divine. Faith is not just a belief, it is a way of being, a state of mind that opens the floodgates of the kingdom and allows its blessings to flow into every area of your life. Entering the kingdom of God begins with a profound yet simple truth. To experience the reality you desire, you must first assume the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. This is not a passive act but an intentional shift in consciousness, where you move from hoping and waiting to living as though your desired state is already your reality. By doing so, you align yourself with the creative power of the kingdom, and what you imagine inwardly becomes your external experience. To assume the feeling of your desired state, you must understand that creation begins within. The outer world is a reflection of your inner state, and what you feel, believe, and imagine inwardly is inevitably mirrored in your external circumstances. Most people wait for external changes to dictate their feelings, believing they will feel happy or fulfilled once they achieve their desires. However, this approach is backward. The kingdom operates on a higher law. You must first feel the reality of your desire within yourself, and only then will it manifest in the world around you. This practice requires living in the end. Living in the end means fully immersing yourself in the experience of your wish fulfilled. It is not enough to think about your desire or visualize it as something distant. You must feel it as real and present now. Imagine yourself already possessing what you seek. See it in your mind's eye, hear the sounds, and feel the emotions as though it is already yours. This is not daydreaming, it is the deliberate creation of your reality. The key to this process is emotion. Feeling is the language of the kingdom, the bridge between your inner world and the outer manifestation. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you activate the creative power within you, setting the wheels of divine law into motion. The intensity and sincerity of your feelings determine the speed and clarity with which your desire takes form. Half-hearted or doubtful emotions create mixed results, but unwavering faith in your imagined reality ensures its eventual realization. This practice also requires discipline of mind. The world will often present you with evidence contrary to your desire, tempting you to doubt or abandon your vision. To live in the end, you must remain steadfast, refusing to be swayed by appearances. This is not denial of reality, but recognition that the true reality lies within you. The outer world is fluid, shaped by the power of your inner assumptions. As you persist in assuming the feeling of your desired state, the external world will inevitably conform to match it. Living in the end also involves letting go of how your desire will manifest. The kingdom operates with perfect wisdom and timing, orchestrating circumstances in ways that often surpass human understanding. Your task is not to figure out the how, but to remain faithful to what the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Trust that the divine power within you knows the best way to bring your desire into being. It is important to approach this practice with a sense of gratitude and joy. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of your inner state, signaling to the kingdom that you are ready to receive. By feeling grateful for your desire as though it is already yours, you create a vibrational match with the reality you wish to experience. This gratitude is not forced or contrived, it is a natural response to the realization that the kingdom is always working for your highest good. As you assume the feeling of your desired state, you may notice subtle but profound changes in your behavior, thoughts, and interactions. You begin to carry yourself with the confidence and peace of someone who knows their desires are assured. Opportunities, people, and circumstances align effortlessly, as though the universe itself is conspiring to bring your vision to life. This is the power of living in the end, a power that transforms not only your external reality but also your inner sense of self. Assuming the feeling of your desired state is an act of faith and surrender. It is a declaration that you trust in the power of the kingdom within you, that you believe in the reality of your imagination more than the limitations of the physical world. This shift in consciousness is the key to unlocking the infinite potential of the kingdom, where every dream, desire, and wish is already complete. By living in the end, you step into your divine inheritance, experiencing life as it was always meant to be, abundant, joyful, and aligned with the limitless possibilities of the divine. The physical world often presents a mirage of limitation, a convincing illusion that what you desire is distant, difficult, or impossible to attain. It weaves a narrative of scarcity, lack, and separation, urging you to believe in its constraints and accept them as absolute. But the truth is, these appearances are not reality. They are temporary shadows cast by the deeper, infinite reality of the kingdom of God within you. To seek the kingdom, you must rise above these illusions and detach from the belief in lack. You must recognize that the limitations of the outer world have no power except that which you grant them. The illusion of lack is rooted in the senses. When you observe the world through the lens of physical evidence alone, it is easy to feel bound by its seeming limitations. You may see insufficient resources, unfulfilled desires, or obstacles that appear insurmountable. But these perceptions are not reflective of the truth. They are projections of a limited understanding shaped by fear, doubt, and disbelief. The kingdom calls you to see beyond appearances and anchor yourself in the reality of abundance and fulfillment that exists within. To detach from the illusion of lack, you must first understand its nature. Lack is not a condition of the external world, it is a state of consciousness. When you believe in scarcity, you create it in your experience. Your focus on what is missing perpetuates the very absence you seek to overcome. This is the paradox of lack. The more you dwell on it, the more real it becomes. But the moment you shift your focus to the infinite abundance of the kingdom, the illusion begins to dissolve, and you align yourself with the limitless supply of the divine. This shift in focus requires a deliberate reprogramming of the mind. You must train yourself to see beyond the evidence of the senses and trust in the unseen reality of the kingdom. This is not about denying the challenges of the physical world, but about recognizing that they do not define your ultimate truth. The kingdom operates on a higher plane, where lack does not exist and every need is already met. By aligning your thoughts and feelings with this higher reality, you rise above the illusion and step into the flow of divine abundance. Detachment from lack also involves releasing attachment to specific outcomes. Often the illusion of lack is perpetuated by a fixation on how your desires should manifest. You may cling to a particular path or time frame, believing that fulfillment can only come in one way. But the kingdom operates with infinite creativity, often bringing about your desires in ways you could never predict or imagine. By letting go of rigid expectations, you open yourself to the limitless possibilities of divine provision. Gratitude is a powerful tool for breaking free from the illusion of lack. When you focus on what you already have, you shift your awareness from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude amplifies your connection to the kingdom, reminding you that you are always provided for, and that there is no true lack in the divine reality. This sense of thankfulness creates a fertile ground for the manifestation of your desires, allowing the riches of the kingdom to flow into your life effortlessly. Faith plays a crucial role in this process. To detach from the illusion of lack, you must cultivate an unshakable belief in the abundance of the kingdom. This faith is not blind optimism, it is a deep knowing that the power of the divine is greater than any appearance of limitation. When you trust in the infinite supply of the kingdom, you no longer feel the need to strive or struggle. Instead, you rest in the assurance that all your needs are already met, and you allow this inner certainty to shape your outer reality. Rising above the illusion of lack also requires a shift in identity. As long as you see yourself as separate from the divine, you will feel incomplete and lacking. But when you recognize that the kingdom is within you, that you are one with its infinite power and intelligence, you transcend the illusion of separation. You no longer see yourself as a limited being trying to attain something external. Instead, you understand that everything you desire is already yours, waiting to be claimed through your awareness. Detaching from lack is not about ignoring the challenges of life, but about approaching them from a higher perspective. It is about seeing obstacles as opportunities for growth, scarcity as an invitation to trust, and setbacks as stepping stones toward greater alignment with the kingdom. This perspective transforms your relationship with the world, allowing you to navigate it with confidence, peace, and purpose. The illusion of lack loses its grip the moment you awaken to the truth of the kingdom within you. By detaching from the belief in limitation and embracing the reality of infinite abundance, you step into your divine inheritance. The physical world may continue to present appearances of lack, but they no longer have power over you. You walk with the assurance that the kingdom is your true reality, a reality where every need is met, every desire is fulfilled, and every possibility is within reach. Gratitude is the master key to the treasures of the kingdom. It is not merely a polite acknowledgement or a fleeting emotion, but a profound state of being that aligns you with the divine flow of abundance. Gratitude opens the doors to all that you seek by shifting your consciousness from lack to fulfillment, from separation to oneness. It allows you to dwell in the reality of your desires fulfilled, making them tangible and present in your life. The essence of gratitude lies in giving thanks as though your prayers have already been answered. This is a radical departure from the common approach of waiting for external circumstances to change before expressing appreciation. When you practice gratitude in this way, you declare your faith in the unseen, affirming that the reality you desire already exists within the kingdom. You step into the vibration of your fulfilled desire, and in doing so you call it forth into your experience. Gratitude is not bound by conditions. It does not depend on what you can see, hear, or touch in the physical world. True gratitude springs from a deeper knowing, a recognition of the infinite abundance that surrounds you and flows through you. When you cultivate this awareness, you realize that there is no lack, no separation, and no limitation in the kingdom. Everything you could ever need or desire is already yours, waiting for you to claim it through your consciousness. This practice of gratitude requires a shift in perspective. Instead of focusing on what is missing or what is not yet materialized, you direct your attention to the blessings already present in your life. These blessings may be as simple as the air you breathe, the warmth of the sun, or the love of a friend. By acknowledging and appreciating these gifts, you attune yourself to the frequency of abundance. The more you give thanks, the more you align with the flow of the kingdom, and the more you open yourself to receive. Gratitude also amplifies the creative power within you. When you give thanks for your desires as though they are already fulfilled, you impress this reality upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious, being the creative medium of the kingdom, responds to this impression by bringing it into form. Your consistent gratitude acts as a seed planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness that grows and manifests in the physical world. This practice requires faith and imagination. It may feel unnatural at first to give thanks for something you cannot yet see or touch. But this is where the power of the kingdom lies, in the unseen, in the realm of infinite possibilities. By giving thanks in advance, you activate the creative forces of the universe, signaling your readiness to receive. You move beyond doubt and hesitation, stepping into the certainty that your desires are already yours. Gratitude also dissolves resistance. When you focus on what you are thankful for, you shift your energy from fear and worry to love and trust. This shift allows you to release the struggle and effort that often accompany the pursuit of your desires. Instead of striving to make things happen, you relax into the flow of the kingdom, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. Gratitude becomes a bridge between your inner vision and its outer manifestation. Furthermore, gratitude transforms your relationships and interactions. When you approach others with a spirit of thankfulness, you create an atmosphere of harmony and connection. Your gratitude uplifts those around you, inspiring them to recognize their own blessings. This ripple effect spreads outward, enriching not only your life but the lives of everyone you encounter. In this way, gratitude becomes a force for collective good, multiplying the treasures of the kingdom. Practicing gratitude also strengthens your trust in divine timing. There may be moments when your desires seem delayed or unattainable. In these moments, gratitude anchors you in the assurance that the kingdom is always working for your highest good. By giving thanks for what is yet to come, you affirm your faith in the divine plan, trusting that everything will manifest at the perfect time and in the perfect way. The gratitude is a recognition of your oneness with the divine. When you give thanks, you affirm that you are not separate from the source of all abundance, but an integral part of it. This awareness dissolves the illusion of lack and empowers you to claim your inheritance as a child of the kingdom. Gratitude becomes not just a practice, but a way of life, a continual acknowledgement of the infinite blessings that flow to you and through you. As you embody gratitude, you unlock the doors to the treasures of the kingdom. You step into a reality where every prayer is answered, every need is met, and every desire is fulfilled. Gratitude transforms your consciousness, allowing you to live in the fullness of the kingdom here and now. By giving thanks, not as a reaction but as a declaration, you align yourself with the divine flow and open the way for miracles to unfold in your life. In seeking the kingdom of God, you embark on a journey that begins within. It is a path that calls for alignment with the divine vision, unwavering faith, and the ability to assume the feeling of your desires already fulfilled. It challenges you to rise above the illusions of lack, embrace gratitude as a living reality, and trust in the unseen power that governs all things. This journey is not one of striving but of surrender, letting go of fear, doubt, and separation to step into the infinite abundance, love, and wisdom that have always been yours. The kingdom is not a distant destination, it is the essence of who you are. By turning inward and aligning your consciousness with the divine, you unlock its treasures and bring its fullness into your daily life. Every thought, feeling, and belief becomes a prayer, shaping your reality and drawing you closer to the realization of your highest self. Trust in the process, remain steadfast in your faith, and let the truth of the kingdom transform every aspect of your existence. Thank you for embarking on this profound journey. May you find the kingdom within, live in its abundance, and radiate its blessings to the world.